I want to turn the clean data into a pivot table. So I'm going to make a new table called clean, not a pivot table, an Excel table. So clean data table. And I'm going to come back here and I'm going to copy and paste. I just don't want to touch that clean data table. I want to keep it that way. From this table, I want to clear all of my formatting. I do want to center things. I like things centered. Okay, so now I want to turn this into an Excel table. So to turn it into an Excel table, we are going to insert our table. Is that where I want it? Yes. I don't know. I sort of like that. This color is fine. Let's go with that. Okay. So now we have this Excel table with our filters. These filters are ugly because there are so many numbers. Okay. These filters, though, you can go, remember, you can go to regions and things like that. So let's undo this. Clear the filter. A problem that I have is I want to do all the data analysis, and I'm just going to show you enough for a project. I don't want to think you have to do too much. So let's go ahead and say that we want to, I'm going to make a little table and we're going to keep track of some totals. So I click here, I go to table design, I want to add my total row. Now here, it's adding up the total amount, the sum of all of the populations. I don't know that we need that. I don't actually know that we need anything for right now here. But I would like to keep track because we're going after seatbelt compliance. Let's go after the average seatbelt compliance. And here, let's keep track of the count, how many there are. I'm not sure if we're going to use this, but I'll do the average fee, and we're going to count how many are here. All right. I think I'd like to make a little table. I'll make it right over here. I'm going to call it Table 1. And then we're going to say Excel. We'll say we're going to look at region. This is called region, right? We're going to look at region and seat belt compliance in 2022. And that's not quite big enough. Let me add a little bit more. We'll merge. Okay. And now I'm going to merge those together, and then we'll put our answer here. And how many rows? I don't know. Maybe, oh, well, region. So 4 rows, 5 rows for we have a header. Because here we're going to say, what is the region? And then here we're going to say, what is the average compliance percentage? All right, I will add this, and just for the fun of it, add a little bit of color. Under there, I think I'm going to put a thick border, and we will bold that. So our regions, our regions are South, West, Midwest, Northeast. All right, so everything is in one of those 4 regions. And so now we can, by the way, I put this here. Let me show you what happens if we put it up here. If I put it up here and then I sort by region, maybe we'll pick Midwest. You see, part of these get hidden because it's being filtered, and then that gets hidden. So that's why I put it down here, because none of this is down low enough where it doesn't matter. So I went to Midwest, where there are 12 states. I'll just keep track of that. And the average compliance percentage is 88.35%. And now we can go to the Northeast. And there are 9 states. And it's 87.94%. Now we'll go to the West. And there are 13 states. And it's 90.31% seatbelt compliance. Oh dear. And then lastly, let's go to the South, where we have 88.79% seatbelt compliance, and there are 17 states. Okay, let's get rid of the filter here. Okay, now this I don't need anymore. I was just to show you something. And so what we have is that the South and the Midwest and actually the Northeast have very similar percentages. Well, they all actually do, huh? They're not very similar. They're not very different from each other. So in other words, let me merge this. What is the difference among states? The difference among states, I'm going to merge this. And we'll put little borders there. Oh, among regions. That is the maximum. Let me make sure that these are all of percent. I'm going to get rid of the percent sign for a minute. The title says that it's percent, so that's okay. It does want this. It's in percent. Let's put a percent here. Oh dear. Let's put a percent here. Okay, so we want the maximum of these minus the minimum of these. And that is 2.37%. So let me summarize. Let me see. The West has the highest average seat belt compliance. And which one's the smallest? The Midwest has the lowest seatbelt compliance, but they only differ by 2.37%. it doesn't appear that region is a strong factor for seatbelt compliance. I'm going to now wrap the text there and put it in a box. Put it in a box. If I had seen something much more dramatic, it might be something to say, but that's not the case. Let me go ahead and make my, let's make the point a little bit more. What is the state with the highest compliance? Okay, what is the state with the lowest compliance? I'm going to bring those down here. Actually, I think I'll just insert a row here. So I want to know what is the maximum of column D. What is the minimum of column D? Okay, so the maximum for column D is 97.2%. Let's find that. Find 0.972. That is California. Actually, let me just write that right here. This is California. Okay, let's look for the 0.755. That is New Hampshire. All right, so now this is 97.2%. This is 75.5%. From highest to lowest state, there's a big difference in percentage points. 97.2 minus 75.5% is 21%. However, when you average, we only find a 2.37% difference, meaning, okay, there are some differences, but high and small in each areas, things are really averaging out. So that's why I'm saying not very significant. There are statistics that we can do here. We're not going to do that. We've just used some tools. Let's go back to our rubric. That's called, this is our clean data table. So I'm going to come back, and we're required to make a table. So on the Clean Data Table tab, we use the table feature to create table 1, and we also wrote a summary about the question of interest, which is what factors affect seatbelt compliance percentage. We are saying not region.